Hello everyone, I have decided to do a different type of TBR today. Today is August 22nd. I have seen a couple of videos where people talk about the books that they want to read for the season. I kind of want to do that, but TBR game wise. So that's what we're going to do. So I am going to we're going to try it this season, see how I like it, and then if I do like it, and remember, then for the next season, which would be winter, then I'll do it again if I like this. So this is going to be fall books that I want to read for the fall. Now I will still do a separate TBR specifically for September. There will be another video coming out about readathons that I would like to participate in the month of September, which are quite a few. There were quite a few that I wanted to participate in August. That's pretty much gone out the window completely. I have been in a reading slump. I have read 4 books in August, and usually I read at least 10, so only 4. It's like I have not been in a reading mood, but when I do read, I enjoy it and I have a great time. But it's taking me longer to get through the books, not because I'm not enjoying it. I'm thoroughly enjoying them. It's just because I'm wanting to do other things, like doing crocheting or watch stuff on YouTube. And it's just, there's just other stuff that I've wanted to do. I have not wanted to pick up a book. Anyway, so hopefully that will resolve itself. I feel like it is. I am finding the urge to pick up books coming back more. So we'll see how that goes. So what I'm going to do is to find out what books I will prioritize for fall. Now, these books, when I do my September, October, and November TBR, I will try to pull from this stack of books that I get from this first, and then anything outside of this stack that doesn't, when I play like my November game, or September game's the one that's coming up, when I play that, if I get a prompt and none of the books from my fall TBR match, then I'll pull in an outside book. But I hope that makes sense. It will as time goes on. So I'm going to use my challenge level board specifically for the season. And if I continue this, this will be the board that I use. I will use the season edition boards for each month. So in September, I will start with my fall edition TBR board game. If I get a double, then I will rotate and I'll do like a random number generator to determine which, and I'll write numbers on the back of the boards so that when I get a number or a dice, I think I decided that last time. I've got to rewatch that video and see how I decided it last time. And then I'll know which board to switch to when I get a double. However, if I get a double during the seasoned TBR, the seasonal TBR, I will not be switching boards, but I will add. I'm going to start, because it's a seasonal TBR, which means it goes over 3 months, I'm going to start with 10 rolls, 10 prompts. So it will be 10 prompts, but if I get a double, then I will add a prompt. So I can have at least 10 books, probably more. I will still do the colors as well, so there is the chance that I could end up doubling this TBR, but again, where this is seasonal, these are books I want to get to over the next 3 months. We're heading into fall, so this is September, October, and November, the books that I want to prioritize for this season. So with that out of the way, let's go ahead and get into the board game. Okay, so let's go ahead and switch to this purple magnet. I need my phone. I'm going to determine where we're going to start. So I need my random number generator. Okay, so random number generator, right now it's on 1 through 10, and I have 30 spaces, so I'm going to change the max from 10 to 30. All right. So I could start anywhere on space 1 to space 30, starting on space 14. Space 14, we're going a little different. Someone caught on that instead of going up and down, I did the numbers this way, side to side, and they said leave it, and I think that's what I'll do. So I was going to try to fix it, but it just means I've got to pay more attention with where I'm going. So starting with there, and let's get into, again, I'll start with 10 prompts and we'll just see where this takes us. Roll number 1 for prompt number 1. So 7, because I got a 4 and a 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Screen time. So this is a random TBR. So this is my TBR jar of booktubers that have TBR games. I didn't used to count this one as a prompt. I am going to from this point forward. So it just means that this one prompt ends up being like 5 books. So where this one's a seasonal, I'm still going to go off of the most recent TBR game of the booktuber, but let's see who it's going to be. Okay, we're going to do this one. And it is Amy from A-Star Reads, The Game of Bookish Life. I will list Amy's channel in the description box. It has been a little bit since she has played, but she is doing her game a little differently. It's still a game of bookish, what did I say it was? The Game of Bookish Life. So yes. Okay, so as you can see, I drew for Screen Time. This is a TBR game off of a booktuber's TBR game that they do. Doesn't mean that they have to consistently put out a TBR game. It could be months old, which was the case for this one. I drew Amy from A-Star Reads, and it is her The Game of Bookish Life. I love The Game of Life. It is my favorite board game. So her most recent TBR board game, and let me let you know too, when I do these, booktubers go back in. So I can always draw them again in the next TBR game that I play. So set that to the side. Okay, so I watched her most recent TBR game, and she's doing things a little bit differently than she did last year, and which, as long as it works for her and does not stress her out, that is great. So she only ended up with 1 prompt, so that works in my favor. We'll see. But the spot that she landed on was when you're playing the Game of Life, there's certain places that you have to stop. She landed on a stop, which is where the chapel is, which is where your little character that you're playing in the Game of Life gets married. The prompt that she got is to read a book about love, romance, or a prominent relationship. My mind immediately went to a romance. However, with these prompts, she goes off of like the color of the number, I believe it is, and the number 4 was red, which is a adult horror, mystery, or thriller for the genre. So we need to combine horror, mystery, thriller, adult, with a book about love, romance, or a prominent relationship. So I go horror, thriller, which is what I'm doing. A horror romance. So my pick is Satiate by MA Cobb. My eye is itching. Okay, MA Cobb. It does say a horror romance. When a new virus awakens a gnawing hunger, they thought hiding away would be the answer. But as society breaks down, so do the lines between right and wrong. Clinging to the old rules will jeopardize their chances to survive when it becomes everyone for themselves. Caleb fights to fix his past mistakes, while Sarah struggles with her new future. Peter builds his kingdom, but Jessica wants to rule. Will they find a way to satiate their desires? Now, I am still going to pull a color card. So what I do with these TBR games is I watch the TBR videos from the other fellow booktubers first, write down the prompts, then I pick the books for the prompts, or in this case prompt, and then I draw a card and see if it will fit the book. If not, then I have to add a prompt. So this one's easy. It's just 1 book to look at. So let's shuffle these up, and then we'll see what color. I've got gray, black, and red. Maybe white I can go with. Okay, let's just go with this. This is definitely not on that cover. So I will be adding another book. Yeah, there is no fake in that. There is no pink on that. So let me see what book I can find that will have this on the cover. So the pink that I drew is Candy Pink. This is number 14-1911. I'm going to go with this one. This is English Trifle by Josi S. Kilpack. And it's like a perfect match right there, at least to the naked eye, at least to my eye. So that's what I'm going with. This is book number 2 in a cozy mystery series. English Trifle, Sweet Tooth Culinary Murder Mystery is the name of the series. Things to do in England. Visit Westminster Abbey, the Tower of London, and the London Zoo. Take the Jack the Ripper tour. Creepy. Sample authentic English scones and crumpets. Discover a dead body. What begins as a holiday trip for amateur sleuth and cooking aficionado Sadie Hoffmiller and her daughter Brianna turns into a bizarre mystery when they discover a dead body in the sitting room of an English manor. Brianna's boyfriend, Liam, is heir to both the family title and the family estate of Southgate, where everyone seems to have a secret, or two. When the body in the sitting room disappears, Sadie and Brianna are stranded at the estate until the police can clear them to leave. With their departure delayed, they might as well solve a murder. Or solve the murder. Armed with a jogging whistle, her personal recipe collection, and an unfailing sense of American justice, Sadie begins her own investigation to find the killer. But as Sadie uncovers layer after layer of misdirection, secrets, and outright lies, she wonders if anyone is telling the truth, or if the case is really as hopeless as it appears to be. Take a missing family history, toss in a secret romance, mix with a mysterious murder, and this is one vacation Sadie will never forget. Okay, going for prompt number 2. I'm removing 3 spots, so a 2 and a 1. 1, 2, 3. Screen time again. So this jar makes a return. And let's go with this one. This is Sarah from Sarah Beth's signature TBR Checkout Challenge. I need to see when the last game was that she did. But, so Sarah. All right, so as you will have seen, I drew Sarah Beth. I did have this as Sarah Beth's signature. I believe she actually changed her title, and if she did, I missed the announcement, or that channel has disappeared. But I think she just changed it and I missed the announcement video and didn't realize it had changed. So the new channel it's still Sarah Beth, but the new channel is called, or the new channel name is All Rad Reads. And it's not the TBR Checkout Challenge, it's Shrink the Shelf. So I had to make a couple of corrections on this, but still Sarah Beth, and it's All Rad Reads, Shrink the Shelf. When she played, she got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 prompts. So I believe, yes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I only have 6 books sitting here. So I'm going to put this Sarah Beth's right back in there. Can come up at a future TBR game. Okay. So prompt number 1, and this was for her, I didn't write it down. This was her August game. Let me write that down. August. Yes, this was her August game. Okay. So, prompt number 1 that she got was to an author you haven't read before. I still really want to get to this book, and it's Jade City by Fonda Lee. I have yet to read anything by Fonda Lee. I was going to say anything by Jade City. I haven't read any of the series. For centuries, honorable Greenbone warriors have used magical jade to enhance their abilities and defend the island of Kekon from foreign invasion. Now the war is over and a new generation vies for control of Kekon's bustling capital city. 4 siblings of the powerful Call family must prepare for battle, and the fragile peace between the clans is about to break. So that's what I'm going with for that prompt. Now, this next one's a little different. I do have Goodreads pulled up on my computer, and I'm going to utilize this. However, I'm going to do it just a little bit differently. So the prompt that Sarah Beth got was least amount of ratings. She just went through her Goodreads. I have hundreds of unread books, so I'm not going to do that because then I'm going to have to hunt for books. So I'm just going to grab, I have a stack of books right next to me. I'm just going to grab the top 4 books of this stack without looking down. Honey Witch by Sydney J. Shields against The Fury by Alex Michaelides against One of Us Knows by Alyssa Cole and Whistleblower by Kay Cove. So these are the 4, and let's see which of these 4 has the least amount of ratings. So I'm going to type these in. I have to set these to the side so I can access my keyboard. Okay. And go to search. So, Whistleblower by Kay Cove has, loading, 3,428 ratings. So 3,428 ratings for Whistleblower. Okay. Let's put that against One of Us Knows and see which one has more ratings. So let me open a second. I do have a second tab here. I didn't want to open another one. Okay, here we go. All right, One of Us Knows by Alyssa Cole. This one has 5,034 ratings, so I will not be putting this one for this prompt. So, Whistleblower is the one so far, but will it have more than The Fury? Let's see. The Fury by Alex. Yeah, this is definitely out of the running for this prompt. It has 137,746 ratings compared to, what was this one, just over 3,000 or something like that. So, yeah. Okay, The Honey Witch by Sydney J. Shields. Let's see how many ratings this one has. So, The Honey Witch by Sydney J. Shields. There it is. Okay, so as a reminder, Whistleblower by Kay Cove has 3,428 ratings, so just shy of 35. The Honey Witch has 7,169 ratings. So out of these 4 books, I will be going with Whistleblower by Kay Cove. Now I will say this, when pulling this up on something like Goodreads, I look at this and I think that's 2 separate words. So whistle space blower. It's actually supposed to be 1 word, whistleblower. So it's just a weird format on this cover, but I don't really know what this is about, but I will read the quote that's on the back, and that's all I'm going to go with. So it says, "You be the light in this dark, depressing world. Let me be the big bad wolf." Okay, the next prompt that Sarah Beth got was a book that's title does not have the letter A for alphabet, A, in any of the words. I'm going to go with Neon Gods. I mean, yes, it's in the author, but she says the title. Book that doesn't have A in any of the words were in the title. Neon Gods. No A's. Society darling Persephone Demetrio plans to escape the ultra-modern city of Olympus and start over far from the backstabbing politics of the 13 houses. But that's all ripped away when her mother ambushes her with an engagement to Zeus, the dangerous power behind their glittering city's dark facade. With no options left, Persephone flees to the forbidden Undercity and makes a devil's bargain with a man she once believed a myth, a man who awakens her to a world she never knew existed. Hades has spent his life in shadows, and he has no intention of stepping into the light. But when he finds that Persephone can offer a little slice of the revenge he spent years craving, it's all the excuse he needs to help her, for a price. Yet every breathless night spent tangled together has given Hades a taste for Persephone, and he'll go to war with Olympus itself to keep her close. So, okay, that's what I'm going to go with for that one. The next prompt she got was book with more than 1 person on the cover. I'm going to go with A Dash of Salt and Pepper. 1, 2. There's 2 people on this cover. Written by Kosoko Jackson. Xavier Reynolds is doing less than stellar. He just got dumped and was passed over for a prestigious fellowship. To top it all off, he's back home in Harper's Cove, Maine, population 9,000. The last thing he wants to do is to work as a prep chef in the kitchen of the hip new restaurant in town, The Wharf, especially since the hot single father chef who owns it can't delegate to save his life. Logan O'Hare doesn't understand Xavier or why every word out of his mouth is dipped in sarcasm. Unfortunately, he has no choice but to hire Xavier. He needs more help in the kitchen, and his tween daughter Anne can only mince so many onions. It might be a recipe for disaster, but Logan doesn't have many options beside Xavier. Stuck between a stove and a hot place, Logan and Xavier discover an unexpected connection, but when the heat between them threatens to top the Scoville scale, they'll have to decide if they can make their relationship work or if life has seasoned them too differently. And this is a male-male romance. Okay. The next prompt Sarah Beth got was a book set in a fictional place. I wanted to get to this one this month, but it's just not going to happen. And that is A Time of Courage by John Gwynne. This is book number 3 in Of Blood and Bone. This is the last book in that trilogy. It says, the demon king Azeroth is free from his iron prison, and the world of the banished lands stands on the brink of domination. With the Ben Elim broken and routed, half-breed Riv and a small band of comrades must try to find a way to strike at the demon forces. Meanwhile, Drem is with the Order of the Bright Star on a desperate march south to join the battle. He fears... Careful! He fears what they will find along the way, even as he knows it is better to fight and fall than to live without hope. This is a thick book. This is over 600 pages, 674 pages before the acknowledgments. So we'll get to that one. Okay, now I can move those ones to the side a little bit. The next prompt was a book with a color in the title. The ones in my office that are unread, Hijab, Butch, Blues. So blues by Lamya H. Not 100% positive on how to say the name, but this is a memoir. So this is a nonfiction, and it says it's a, let's see, a daring, provocative, and radically hopeful coming-of-age memoir by a queer hijabi Muslim immigrant who, by interpreting stories from the Quran, finds the strength, purpose, and self-acceptance to finally build the life she wants. So I've got a nonfiction to get through for the fall. So we'll see if I'm able to get to that. And then the last prompt that Sarah Beth got was to read a mystery. I'm going to go with a cozy mystery, 4 Charming Spells. This is book number 4 in a Kitchen Witch mystery series written by Lynn Cahoon. I love this series. Thoroughly enjoy this one. I'm really happy. I do have the 5th one, and I've actually saw that there's a 6th book coming out, and I have pre-ordered that one, and I'm really excited. So I need to get caught up. 4 Charming Spells. Before Mia Malone can sip tea at time for a cuppa, the charming new shop in Magic Springs, Idaho, her life changes course in downright supernatural ways. First, her blossoming catering business and cooking school get a boost with the addition of an enchanting cake decorator. Then she catches the attention of the tea shop owner herself, local coven member Mahogany Medford, who's set on immersing Mia in a twisted mystery that appears all but unsolvable without a special kind of help. Still reeling from the recent loss of her mother and believing there was more to the abrupt death, Mahogany urges Mia to cast light on the truth. But old secrets might come back to haunt her in an investigation that demands conjuring up phantoms from the past on the property of Mia's morsels. Now wearing Gran's protective stone and empowered by a circle of trusted confidants, Mia must reveal who or what killed Mrs. Medford as another deadly surprise brews. This is a cozy mystery. It has fantastical elements because it's witchcraft and there's actual witch stuff. There's also werewolves in a previous book in this series, so definitely a cozy mystery fantasy blend. Okay, so again, that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we need to draw 7 colors and see if any of these colors are on any of these books or if I'm going to have to add a book. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, I didn't look, so now I know what don't know what the colors are. That's a pretty nice little color palette. Okay, so faded denim. I do not see faded denim on 4 Charming Spells. Okay, let's just go with, okay, let me do this. I'm going to do this just a little differently. Okay, let's do it. Okay, so the first book that I picked for Sarah Beth's game was Jade City. Obviously, not on there. Okay, Pantone, let's see, number 350. This is a green, and I'm going to say it is on this cover. Definitely in the shading of some of the stuff there, so, of the background. So yeah, that I'm saying counts. So I'm going to mark that. Okay. All right. Now let's look at Whistleblower. Is faded denim? Yes. This is definitely in some of the leaves on here. So yeah, I'm definitely saying that one counts. So let's mark that. All right, Neon Gods by Katie Roberts. Definitely does not have Morning Mist, nor Seafoam Green, nor 3985. Does not have this Peach Pearl. Might. Yes. No. Close, but it's, yeah, no, I'm going to say it's too different. Not even this blue. So I will have to add a color. So I do not get a color for this one. Okay. All right. Now let's look at A Dash of Salt and Pepper. Oh, his shoes have blue, but it's more navy blue and more gray than this. That's the only blue on there. As far as this Peach Pearl, no, definitely not. This green, no. I mean, there's green on here, but it's definitely more bright compared to that dark. And this is too bright compared to everything else that's on there. And this isn't on there as well. So that's 2 books where I don't have a color for. It's going to go up because A Time of Courage by John Gwynne, this is all reds. There is no blues, no greens, no peaches. So none of these, I can tell you right now, are on that cover. Hijab Butch Blues, maybe. No on the Morning Mist. Seafoam Green, no. This dark green, there is green. No, that's way too different. There's peach, it's more orange and reds, no. This blue, I'm trying to decide because there is a couple of different shades on here. I'm going to say no, this is more cool. It's more bright on this. Okay, so I've got a couple of different colors to add. This blue is not on Four Charming Spells. This one might, yes, I am going to say Peach Pearl is. So let's just go with that. There is a thing on the table, and it's just going to be in the shading of that container that has the plants there. It's harder to see with the light reflection, but it is on there. So I am going to go with that Peach Pearl for Four Charming Spells. And again, please keep in mind, these books are all for 3 months. So September, October, and November. So that is 4 colors I was not able to find on any of the books. So let me go find some books that fit these colors. Okay, I have found the 4 books for the 4 colors. So up first, just no particular order, is this green, which is number 3985. I really don't like this shade of green, but I'm going to go with the Honey Witch by Sydney J. Shields. There's a bunch of greenery up at the top here, and in some of the leaves, this color, it's dark, it's really hard to see, but this color, it does look like it is in there. So that's what I'm going to go with. It says, Marigold Claude has always preferred the company of meadow spirits to the suitors who have tried to woo her. So when her grandmother whisks her away to the tiny isle of Innisfree with an offer to train her as the next Honey Witch, she accepts immediately. But her newfound magic and independence come with a price. No one can fall in love with the Honey Witch. Then Lottie Burke, a notoriously grumpy skeptic, shows up on her doorstep, and Marigold can't resist the challenge to prove to her that magic is real, even at the risk of losing her home and her heart. Sorry, I was laughing. One of them, Polly or Molly, scared the other one, and then they jumped, and so I just saw it out of the corner of my eye. It made me laugh. Okay, going with that one. The Honey Witch. The next color I have is Morning Mist. I'm going to go with The Fury by Alex Michaelides. I can't remember how to say it. Definitely, as you can see, it does look like it's definitely in some of the shading here in the water. So definitely going to go with that one. And it says, this is a tale of murder. Or maybe that's not quite true. At its heart, it's a love story, isn't it? Lana Farrar is a reclusive ex-movie star and one of the most famous women in the world. Every year, she invites her closest friends to escape the English weather and spend Easter on her idyllic private Greek island. Okay. I tell you this because you may think you know the story. You probably read about it at the time. It caused a real stir in the tabloids. If you remember, it had all the necessary ingredients for a press sensation. A celebrity, a private island cut off by the wind, and a murder. We found ourselves trapped there overnight. Our old friendships concealed hatred and a desire for revenge. What followed was a game of cat and mouse, a battle of wits full of twists and turns, building to an unforgettable climax. The night ended in violence and death. But who am I? My name is Elliott Chase, and I'm going to tell you a story unlike any you've ever heard. Next was this blue, number 291. I'm going with One of Us Knows. It's in the shading with the moon there, the outline of the moon. So I'm going to go with this one. Years after a breakdown and a diagnosis of dissociative identity disorder derailed her historical preservationist career, Kenitra Nash and her alters have been given a second chance they can't refuse. A position as resident caretaker of a historic home, having been dormant for years. Ken has no idea what led them to this isolated Hudson River island, but she's determined not to ruin their opportunity. Then, a surprise visit from the Home's Conversation Trust, just as a nor'easter bears down on the island, disrupts her newfound life, leaving Ken trapped with a group of possibly dangerous strangers, including the man who brought her life tumbling down years earlier. When he turns up dead, Ken is the prime suspect, caught in a web of secrets in a race against time. Ken and her alters must band together to prove their innocence and discover the truth of Kavanaugh Island. Okay, so the truth of Kavanaugh Island and their own past, or they risk losing not only their future, but their life. Okay, and the last color I couldn't get out of Sarah Beth's prompts was this Seafoam Green, number 120313. I'm going to go with Kilt Trip. And there's some green stickers on her luggage that looks like that matches pretty dang well and close. So that's what I'm going to go with. Ready or Scott. Globe-trotter Addie McRae always follows her wanderlust. As a travel consultant, she jet sets around the world, anywhere but Scotland. But when she sent an assignment to help a struggling family-run tour company in the Highlands and save her own job, Addie packs away her emotional baggage and turns on the professional charm. Logan Sutherland's as rugged as the land he loves, and his greatest joy is sharing the beauty of Scotland's hidden gems, even if it means a wee bit of red ink on the company's bottom line. The last thing Logan wants is some American expert pushing tourist traps and perpetuating myths about the Loch Ness Monster, especially when Addie never leaves her desk to experience the country for herself. As they wage an office war, Logan discovers Addie's secret connection to Scotland, a handful of faded Polaroids of her late mother. Hoping for a truce, he creates a private tour of the place in the pictures to help Addie find closure and appreciate the enchantment in less traveled destinations, never expecting the off-limits attraction sparking between them. But Addie's contract is almost up, and magic won't pay the bills. They can't afford distractions, but how can Addie do her job if she hasn't explored all Scotland and Logan has to offer? I think I'll just set this to the side because this will probably come up again. I would not be surprised. Okay, I've got that set to the side. Going for prompt number 3. So again, we're going for at least 10. Okay, and I get the number 10, so 6 and a 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Experiment. All right, experiment is for a random generator, and this is full of different random generators. So let's go this one. random song generator. Okay, I need my phone. I am going to go to Amazon Music. So for this prompt, it was experiment. This is a random generator. As you saw, I drew random song. So okay, I got it to randomize a song, and it is Be Prepared on Disney's The Lion King. So this is the one where it's Scar singing to the hyenas, be prepared, they're going to take over, kill Simba, kill Mufasa. It'll be a dawn of a new era. So that's what I'm going to go with. Okay. This was one that I wanted to read in the month of August, but I'm just not going to get to it. I'm going to move it to my fall TBR, and I think it's perfect for this one because it's Scarred. Scar is singing in The Lion King. This is a reimagining. It's not a retelling. This is by Emily McIntire. It does say, there is a note in here from the author. Oh, there's a playlist. I didn't know that. Okay. Author's note. Scarred is a dark royal romance. It is a fractured fairy tale, not fantasy or a retelling. The main character is a villain. If you're looking for a safe read, you will not find it in these pages. So, this gives Lion King, I think this is a fractured fairy tale of the Lion King because of the names in this. So as you remember, you have Simba, you have Nala, you have Sarabi, you have Scar. Think of the characters from the Lion King. Now, it says, Prince Tristan Fasa was never destined for the throne. That was always his brother, Michael. The same brother responsible for both Tristan's tormented childhood and the scar that mars his face. Scar has that scar. Okay. Let's see. When their father dies, Michael is set to assume the throne, and Tristan is set to steal it. The leader of a secret rebellion, Tristan will stop at nothing to end his brother's reign. But when Michael's new betrothed, Lady Sarah Beatrix, arrives, Tristan finds himself in the middle of a new kind of war. With war, you need to be prepared, right? So that's the other way I'm going to make that fit. I'm excited. Okay. The kind that begs the question of what's more important, the crown or the woman about to wear it. Sarah has one plan, marry the king and eradicate the fossil line, even at the risk of her own peril. But she never expects the scarred prince. He's dangerous, forbidden, and one of the men she's been sent to kill. But the line between hatred and passion has never seemed so thin. And as secrets come to light, Sarah grows unsure of whom she can trust, torn between vengeance and the villain she was never supposed to love. I say it works. Okay. And I think I'm finding that this works better is to pick the books and then draw the colors. So let's go with this color. Oh, Limeade. Oh, it is definitely not on that. So, okay, so Scarred is what I'm going to go with for the song. And then I need to find a book that has this bright Limeade green. Okay, I found a book that has, I think, at least it looks like it, the Limeade color. I'm going to go with Murder by the Book by Lauren Elliott. So there's some shrubbery here in the corner. And the way the shadow hits that shrubbery, it definitely looks very light. Oh, it's definitely hard to see in this lighting. But it definitely looks to the naked eye that this matches the shading there. So this one I'm going to go with, this is a cozy mystery. Addie left some painful memories behind in the big city, including the unsolved murder of her fiancé and her father's fatal car accident. After an unexpected inheritance from a great aunt, she's moved to a small New England town founded by her ancestors back in colonial times, and living in spacious Greybourne Manor on a hilltop overlooking the harbor. Best of all, her aunt also left her countless first editions and other treasures, providing an inventory to start her own store. But there's trouble from day one, and not just from the grumpy woman who runs the bakery next door. A car nearly runs Addie down. Someone steals a copy of Alice in Wonderland. Then Addie's friend Serena, who owns a nearby tea shop, is arrested for killing another local merchant. The police seem pretty sure they've got the story in hand, but Addie's not going to let them close the book on this case without a fight. Okay, going for prompt number 4. Moving 7 spots, so 6 and a 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Candle. Okay, so prompt number 4 is Candle. This is to read a book that inspired by the current candle that I am currently burning, which is Ghoul Friend. So there are skeletons. This is a Halloween edition, dancing, a lot of pinks, purples, silvers. It's a party, it looks like, and the scents are dark strawberries, ghostly peony, and spine-chilling citrus. So how can I make this work? I'm going to go with Her Soul to Take by Harley Laroux. So you can see there's a skull, we have skeletons, it's bones. I'm saying it works. Okay, so we have 2 POVs. We have Leon and Ray. Leon says, my reputation among magicians is unblemished. Killer, they call me. Killing is what I'm best at. One wrong move and you're dead, except her. The one I was supposed to take. The one I should have killed. The cult that once controlled me wants her, but I'm not about to lose my new toy to them. And then underneath Ray, it says, I've always believed in the supernatural. Hey, actually, ghoul, supernatural. Okay. Hunting for ghosts is my passion, but summoning a demon was never part of the plan. Monsters are roaming the woods, and something ancient, something evil is waking up and calling my name. I don't know who I can trust or how deep this darkness goes. All I know is my one shot at survival is the demon stalking me, and he doesn't just want my body, he wants my soul. All right, let's get a color and see if it's going to be on here. It's going to have to be a dark color. This is part of the Souls trilogy, and it is book 1, so there are 3 books, obviously, with it being a trilogy. Let's go with this one. Nope. Okay, so the color is Picante, number 191250. There is no brown on this. It's black, grays, some shades of green. So I need to find a book with this color. Okay, I'm going to go with another one. You will have probably, if you've been around for a bit, you will have seen this pop up a couple of times. Kidnapped by the Krampus by Emily Shore. This definitely fits in the ceiling there. So, yes. This one says, 'tis the season for spice and a little Krampus magic. Investigative journalist Twyla ventures into the world of the mysterious Krampus to uncover the truth about the eccentric CEO. But when she wakes up in his winter castle, kidnapped by the horned billionaire, she finds herself drawn into a scorching romance. As Twyla uncovers the layers of this hooved enigma, she learns the monstrous holiday figure might be more real than she imagined. Oh well, monster romance is trending. For Krampus, Twyla is his last chance at breaking a century-old curse. This sounds like Beauty and the Beast. Can their love thaw his frozen heart, or is he destined to remain the eternal Yuletide demon? So, and that's all it says, and then it's just this best-selling author. So I'm going to go with this one for Picante. Okay, prompt number 5. 7 spots. So 5 and a 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Coloring. Okay, so this one was coloring. This is to pick a book that is based on my current coloring book that I'm doing. I'm kind of not coloring right now, but the current coloring book I am going to be coloring in is Spooky Cutie, Cute and Comfy Coloring Book. So as you can see, there's a ghost, there's a black cat, so an animal, there's skulls, there's a fire, there's a quilt, he's writing in his diary, he, she, whoever, pictures of ghost families. Cozy, it's a cutie, it's giving cozy vibes, that's what I'm going to go with. So I'm going to go with Mystery at Maplemead Castle. This is a cozy mystery, cozy coloring book, cozy mystery book. This is written by Kitty French. This is book number 2 in the Chapelwick Mysteries series. Maplemead Castle is crawling with ghosts, and there we go, ghosts mentioned in this book, ghosts on the cover. Another way I can connect it. Okay. Crawling with ghosts, and the new owners need them gone. When Melody Bittersweet and the girls' ghost-busting agency arrive on scene, they quickly identify the troublemakers swinging from the chandeliers, literally. A century ago, stunning trapeze artist Bertiana Lavelle plunged to her death and has done every night since. But did she really just fall, or was there something more to her demise? Forced to work with Leo Dark, her scoundrel ex, and infuriating, irresistible reporter Fletcher Gunn, Melody's investigative powers are under strain, i.e. lost in a pink mist of lust and confusion. She needs her team on top form, but the best friend Marina's cake pipeline goes AWOL. Assistant Artie is distracted by a giant sausage roll, and the pug is scared witless by a lion. Somewhere hidden in the castle is a heartbreaking secret, but what will it take to find it? And is there a chance it could set Bertiana free, or is she doomed to repeat her last fateful act forever? All right, let's get a color, see if it's on this cover. So shuffle a couple of times. This one, is there one? Ooh, Blossom. I'm gonna say yes. So she's got her some shoes here, and I'm gonna say it's the inside. It's hard to see on camera, but there it looks like it's on the inside of the sole of the shoes. So I'm gonna go with it. Okay. Going for prompt number 6. So we're doing 8 spots. So 6 and a 2, that's 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Dice roll. What the heck was that? This is another random generator. So we're gonna do this one. Whoops, dropped it. This is TBR cards. Okay. All right, prompt number 6 I landed on was dice roll. This was a random generator. I drew out TBR cards. That is these. So let's pick or draw a prompt. Let's go this one. Let's just go with this one. Choose a book you've started but never finished. Honestly, I have either DNF'd and unhulled something and I don't recall what they are, or I finished everything. So I am not going to go with this one. Let's just set it to the side and draw another one. Let's go down right here. Choose a book someone gifted to you. Oh, I know. Okay, I do know what someone gifted to me. It was actually in my recent haul, so if you saw my August haul, you'll have seen it. I'm going to go with The Chicken Sisters. This was gifted to me by my mom. This was her copy, K.G. Dell'Antonia. In tiny Marinette, Kansas, chicken Mimis and chicken Frannies have spent a century vying to serve up the best fried chicken in the state, and the legendary feud between their respective owners, the Moores and the Pogoselios, have lasted just as long. No one feels the impact more than 35-year-old widow Amanda Moore, who grew up working for her mom at Mimi's before scandalously marrying Frank Pogoselio and changing sides to work at Franny's. Tired of being caught in the middle, Amanda sends an SOS to Food Wars, the reality TV restaurant competition that promises $100,000 to the winner. But in doing so, she launches both families out of the frying pan and directly into the fire. The last thing Brooklyn-based organizational guru Mae Moore, Amanda's sister, wants is to go home to Kansas. But when her career implodes, helping the fading Mimis look good on Food Wars becomes Mae's best chance to reclaim the limelight. Even if doing so pits her against Amanda and Franny's. Yet when family secrets become public knowledge, the sisters must choose. Will they fight with each other or for their heritage? Okay, need a color. Options are a bit limited on this cover, so I'm hoping I get one that'll match. Let's go with this one. Oh no, no. Yeah, no. I mean, she has red fingernails, but they're not this bright, so gotta find a color. And that was easier than I thought. I'm going to go with Get a Life, Chloe Brown by Talia Hibbert. So there you go. Matches the title and the red on her shirt. So this is what I'll go with. Okay, get that in there. Chloe Brown is a chronically ill computer geek with a goal, a plan, and a list. After almost, but not quite dying, she's come up with 7 directives to help her get a life. And she's already completed the first, finally moving out of her glamorous family's mansion. The next items: enjoy a drunken night out, ride a motorcycle, go camping, have meaningless but thoroughly enjoyable sex, travel the world with nothing but hand luggage, and do something bad. But it's not easy being bad, even when you've written step-by-step guidelines on how to do it correctly. What Chloe needs is a teacher, and she knows just the man for the job. Redford Red Morgan is a handyman with tattoos, a motorcycle, and more sex appeal than 10,000 Hollywood heartthrobs. He's also an artist who paints at night and hides his work in the light of day, which Chloe knows because she spies on him occasionally, just the teensiest, tiniest bit. But when she enlists Red in her mission to rebel, she learns things about him that no spy session could teach her, like why he clearly resents Chloe's wealthy background, and why he never shows his art to anyone, and what really lies beneath his rough exterior. This will be a reread for me. All right, prompt number 7. 3. 1, 2, 3. Another dice roll. All right, another random generator. Let's go with random picture. So prompt number 7 was another dice roll. This is another random generator, getting quite a bit of these. And the one that we got on this one, or the one that I got on this one, is a random picture. So let me pull up my random generators and we'll generate a random picture. So it's loading. Loading. There we go. So that's the picture that came up. Oh, here we go. Okay. And that's the one we're going with. Oh, perfect. It's got a witch's hand. There's green. Holding some potion. Ooh, I like this random picture. Okay. With the witchy hand holding the vial of something. I'm thinking potion. Could be poison. Who knows? I'm going with darker vibes. So I have a darker book here. I'm also connecting it with the witchy hand as far as the title of this book is Gallows Hill. And the term Gallows Hill is definitely a well-known thing where they used to hang women that were accused of witchcraft. So that's how I'm making this work. Gallows Hill by Darcy Coates. It's time to come home. The whole family has owned the Gallows Hill winery for generations. The sprawling old house has long been perched on top of a hill overlooking the nearby town, jealously guarding the estate's secrets. Their wine wins awards. Their business prospers. Their family thrives until Hugh and Maria Hull enter the dark halls of Gallows Hill one last time and are found dead the next morning. People whisper that the curse has awakened once more, which is cast curses, so it works. It's been more than a decade since Margot Hill last saw her childhood home. She was young enough when she was sent away that she barely remembers its dark passageways and secret corners. But now she's returned to bury her parents and reconnect with the winery that is her family's legacy, and the bloody truth of exactly what lies buried beneath the crumbling estate. Alone in the sprawling, dilapidated building, Margot is forced to come face to face with the horrors of the past and realize that she may be the next victim of a house that never rests. Need a color. This is a dark cover, so I want a dark color. Come on, dark color. I am going to say there is just a bright patch of green. It's very hard to see on here because it's surrounded by a bunch of dark, but if you get a copy of this book, you can look it for yourself. And this is definitely in the greenery that's right behind this O. That's like the only bright spot on this color. So cover, I'm saying it's definitely a match. Prompt number 8. 5, so a 3 and a 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, experiment again. It's a good thing I'm not putting these away. Okay. Let's go with this one this time. Random prompt generator. Prompt number 8, experiment, another random generator. This one is random prompt. So I do have a random, I'm not doing the TBR cards. This is completely different. So let me go to my website, close out the random picture, and I'm going to pull up a random TBR prompts generator. So, okay, here we go. Spin, spin, there we go. Did it do it? No. Let's try this again. There we go. A yellow cover. So for this one, I'm going to go with this one. Big section of yellow there, different shades of yellow at the bottom, and in that, I'm going to say it works. It says, trapped by her despotic brother within the crumbling walls of an ancient temple, Princess Malini dreams of vengeance. Forced to disavow her birthright and her power because of her past, maidservant Priya dreams of freedom. In a world beset by wild magic and turbulent uprising, their destinies will become irrevocably tangled, and together they will set the empire ablaze. Plus, there's a back cover that's yellow, so I'm definitely saying, it didn't say it had to be the front cover, all yellow, but the back cover definitely fits. So, The Jasmine Throne by Tasha Suri. Okay, now we need a color. Well, it's kind of, oh, this might work. 605. Yes, so there's some flowers down here. It looks like it's in the shading there, and it looks in the shading of some places there. So I am saying that counts. That looks pretty close to me. Okay, prompt number 9. 6, 5, and a 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. YouTube. TBR game again. I'm gonna go with this one. Stephanie. Stephanie's book verse, Star Hop. Sweet. I like this game. It's fun. All right. So another, for this one, it was YouTube. TBR game, and the one that I drew out was Stephanie from Stephanie's book verse, and this is her Star Hop TBR game. So get her put back in that jar so I can draw her out at another point in the future. Watch the video, and this was based off of her August game, and she's got like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 books. So the first one that she got was The Comet, which was a free pick. She doesn't pick a book for that. I did not either. And then she got, the prompt was a book with a weapon on the cover. I'm going to put this library book on here because it's overdue at this point and I need to get this read and get it returned. So The Last of the Plainsmen, as you can see, he's holding a rifle, and this is by Zane Grey. This is a Western according to the sticker. And I can't read everything. Oh, okay. Big, brash, and fearless, Buffalo Jones is in pursuit of the greatest mountain lion ever spotted in the remote Arizona desert. Determined to bring the beast home alive, Jones leads a colorful band of brothers into a wild land across the Colorado River. I just lost my place. Oh, to Buckskin Mountain at the Red Mesa rim of the Grand Canyon. But while Jones has forsworn all killing, even smashed his rifle on a wagon wheel and vowed to save the species, he and his men are entering a fight for their lives. If Apaches, stampedes of wild horses, or rattlesnakes don't get them, another enemy will. Roaming packs of the one beast who fears no man. Okay. Okay, so I need to draw colors, and let's go ahead and do that as I tell you these prompts. I'm going to draw all the colors now. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 books. So 10 colors. I forgot, for all of a sudden I was thinking 12 books. And I'm like, that's not right. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay. All right. Ooh, this will work. Okay, so these are the colors I'm working with here, and that's the palette here. Right off, I can see a couple of colors that I think will work. So let's pull these 3 out, see which one will work. Okay, so these are the 3 that I drew out. Okay, this freesia looks like will work. This I think will be more difficult, so I'll go with that one over the freesia. And this other yellow-ish orange. Ooh. You know what? I'm putting that one back. Let's go with this one. It's in like the shading of the clouds there. So I'm going to go with that one. All right. And that is yellow number 142. So let's write that down. Number 142. Sweet. I don't need to add any. I keep thinking I don't need to add any more books, but this is 3 months worth. So when I play my September game, I'll try to prioritize the books out of these that I get out of this game first, and then pull anything else in if there's not any books that fit whatever prompt I get for the games. Okay, the next prompt Stephanie got was a buddy read. Well, I am trying to participate in Bookstar Read Along. The current buddy read is crap. Let me check, because this is book number 3, and I may have just royally screwed up. I need to see if this one will be read in the fall, or I think it will. I think it will. It might still work. I'm hoping it will work. Bookstar is hosted by Amy from A-Star Reads, Paige from Pages with Paige, and Danielle from Bookara. So let's look at memoirs. Read diversely. Oh, Bookstar. Yes, it will work. So, the second book in the series we're supposed to read in September. I have that in my room. But this will take place in November. As Good as Dead. Okay. I did not royally screw up. I thought I did. As Good as Dead by Holly Jackson. You'll never think of good girls the same way again. Pip is about to head to college, but she is still haunted by the way her last investigation ended. She's used to online death threats in the wake of the viral true crime podcast, but she can't help noticing an anonymous person who keeps asking her who will look for you when you're the one who disappears. Soon the threats escalate, and Pip realizes that someone is following her in real life. When she starts to find connections between her stalker and a local serial killer caught 6 years ago, she wonders if maybe the wrong man is behind bars. Police refuse to act, so Pip has only one choice: find the suspect herself or be the next victim. As the deadly game plays out, Pip discovers that everything in her small town is coming full circle, and if she doesn't find the answers this time, she will be the one who disappears. So any of these colors, this has no brown, there's no yellows, there is a red, there's no purples, no blues, no, there's no greens, doesn't even have white. Well, in the shading, but okay, so no on this red. This is a deeper red, this is more of a bright blood red, so no. And this, you know, I'm going to say yes on this one because it's in the highlight of the tape. So, yeah, I am going to say that this one counts. So, Lightest Sky, number 114804 works. The next prompt was a book that has an epilogue. This book has a prologue and an epilogue. So, Rage of Dragons by Evan Winter. A world caught in an eternal war. One young man will become his people's only hope for survival. That's all it says. Okay, there's not really any red, but there is fire. Ooh, yes. Okay, so as you can see, there's embers of fire, and this is definitely in the outskirts of the embers of fire. So this definitely works. And this red is number 485, or at least it looks like it. Again, naked eye, this might not be an exact match. So, but I'm going with it. Okay, the next prompt was a hyped book and a friend pick. So I sent a couple of cover options, and the cover that was picked by my mom is this one. She just went off of a cover that she likes. She thinks this cover looks really intriguing, and it's Can't Spell Treason Without T. So, and I've heard quite a few things about that and this author, Rebecca Thorne. So, let's see. Run away with me, the mage said, her eyes alight. You like tea? I like books. Let's open a shop somewhere remote and forget the world exists. All Renya and Chiante want is to open a bookshop that serves tea while firelight drifts between the rafters. But Renya works as one of the queen's private guards, and Chiante is the most powerful mage in existence. Leaving their lives isn't so easy. But after an assassin takes Renya hostage, she decides she's thoroughly done risking her life for a self-centered queen. Meanwhile, Chiante has been waiting for a chance to flee responsibility. All the better that her girlfriend is on board. Together, they settle in Tani, a town nestled in the icy tundra near Dragon Country, and open the shop of their dreams. What follows is a cozy tale of mishaps, mysteries, and a murderous queen throwing the realm's biggest temper tantrum, while these two women discover just what they mean to each other and the world. Maybe. Let's see if there's a better match. This blue. Yeah, that's better than that red. Desert Sand. We'll go with this blue one first. And then I have this dark green. Oh, these are like much more dull, not this bright. Doesn't look like this one is on here. Nope. Yellow. There is yellow, but, well, yes, this one would work. I think better than that blue. Okay, we're going to go with this one. All right. 732. It's in the woodwork, and then there's a ladder right here, which is hard to see, but it definitely looks like that matches to me. Okay, the next thing, unfortunately, Stephanie landed on the black hole, which means she had to go back to the beginning. That doesn't mean put the books back, just back to the beginning and adding more books. So what she does is she draws out of this little thing, and they're books where she continues a series. I don't have the same thing, but I'm going with the continuous series aspect, and I have picked Addicted for Now to continue a series. This is by Krista and Becca Ritchie. No more sex. This does deal with sex addiction and alcoholism in this part of the series. Those are the three words Lily Calloway fears the most, but Lauren Hale is determined to be with Lily without enabling her dangerous compulsions. With their new living situation, sleeping in the same bed, for real, together, Lily has new battles, like not jumping Lo's bones every night, and not being consumed by sex and his body. Lauren plans to stay sober to right all of his wrongs, so when someone threatens to expose Lily's secret to her family and the public, he promises that he'll do anything to protect her. But with old enemies surfacing, Lo has more at stake than his sobriety, and his worst fear isn't relapsing. He hears the end, he sees it. The one thing that could change everything, just 3 words, no more us. Okay. Oh, I don't, there's definitely, none of these colors will work because it's white, red, and then, nope. Okay, so I am going to have to find another color or another book to fit one of the colors, but let's see if any of these will go with any of these other books. All right, so starting over, the next one that she got was a 10 to a 12 letter title. I'm going with a book that has 11 letters, Slash or Pass by Taylor Page. This has 11 letters, so slash, and that is counting or. And this one says, when you get told to run, you get up and don't look back. We had one shot to get out of the sinister minister's grasp, and we took it, hand in hand. Kansas and I fled in the middle of the night with a promise that we'd never tell a soul about what happened at that house and how Constantine died. Elsie has spent the last decade looking over her shoulder while trying to forget the horrors the minister and the family inflicted upon her and others. However, something continues to call to her in the deepest roots of her psyche. She can't escape the nightmares of her time trapped in the cult. All of her fears come to a head when she finds a letter trapped to her door, informing her that a documentary is being made about the minister and the events that took place 10 years ago. When she politely declines, she can't help but wonder why they didn't fight her a little more to talk. It isn't until she turns on the TV that she sees that they didn't need her to talk because they had someone else to captivate their audience. They found Constantine. He's alive. He remembers that we left him. Slasher, okay, it says this is a male, female, male horror romance. If you like slasher horror, spicy romance, and a little schmink in your books, literally says schmink, you're going to enjoy this novel. Okay, no, it's not that bright. This blue? No, there's no blue. Maybe this green? Too dark. This is too bright, I can tell you that. Purple? No, it's more of a red and then blues. So no. This desert sand. No, there's no browns. Okay, that's another book. One that I'm going to have to add a color for. Okay. The next prompt she landed on was romance. I've got another library book that I need to read. The Mostly Real McCoy by Julie Christiansen. Less hoping means less heartbreak. Then I met Mac and Daisy. Single dad Mac needs a temporary nanny for his daughter Daisy. I need a second job until my promotion kicks in. Since our arrangement is only for 1 month, I'm positive I won't get attached. Medium positive. Okay, I'm negative. This is a terrible idea because I can't give Mac and Daisy what they need, and I won't risk breaking their hearts. But his green eyes and her crooked pigtails have me dreaming about forever. And who can resist a dad buying pink ballerina tights after a day spent in a hard hat? The thing is, Mac is a fixer, and I need to repair my own life. Better yet, I don't want to feel broken. So it's a good thing the worst has already happened to me. Nothing will hurt me now. Hurt more now. Water can't get wetter, Brooke. That's what I keep telling myself. Too bad, I'm all wrong. Okay, there is brown with his shoes. It does not, oh, his hair, no, it's more, they're more red browns than this one is. There's no purple. There's not any, I mean, the cover is like a bluish green. This one's a no. There is blue, but I think this is too, well, yeah, no, this one's too dark compared to his blue jeans. And her shoes are more gold than this, but it does look pretty close to the word mostly in the cover. So I'm going to go with that. So I'm saying that counts because it looks pretty dang close. Okay. And so the color that we'll be going with this book is Freesia, I think is how it is spelled. And it's number 14-0852. Again, this is all to the naked eye. Things are not going to be exact. And I'm going to end this here for now. So there will be a part 2. So this is the end of part 1, and we will continue. You already know what the prompts are up to now. So I will be back tomorrow once my camera is fully charged. So it is the next day. I've got my camera fully charged. We can continue on with this. So okay, so I'm down to 4 cards. We're still working on the books for Stephanie from Stephanie's Bookverse and her Star Hop TBR. Now, okay, so the next book, the next prompt. So yes, different outfit because it's a different day. Had to charge my camera overnight. The next prompt that Stephanie got was first book I think of, or a book that was gifted. Although she was gonna do like a combination or something like that. I think this is one where it was a combination of the two. Oh no. This one was, she got the first book that she thought of for the prompt, and then she said something along the lines of she struggles with that. Totally understand that. So she switched it to a different prompt, which turned out to be a gifted prompt. I'm going with the first one that she drew, which was first book I thought of because I just got this book. And so this was the first one that I thought of because it's a brand new haul. So this will have been in a haul video if you would have seen that. So I had this one literally on my mind. So this one says, what do you get when you have a fragile psyche? A knack for self-sabotage and a slew of mommy issues. Killer instincts. The battle of the mind can rage the most extensive war. That's what Rue's therapist always told her, and she was desperate to stop the never-ending rug from being pulled out from underneath her. Determined to leave her troubled history behind, she relocates to Virginia for a fresh start. After significant strides to heal her wounds, Rue falls in love with Wyatt Minnick, a seemingly perfect man with few flaws. After almost 2 years together, she believes she has finally found the love and stability she has craved since childhood. However, her fragile psyche starts to shatter when she discovers a lie that Wyatt has been harboring. This devastating revelation sets off a chain of events that could have disastrous consequences for both. Caught in an eternal battle of self-sabotage, Rue transforms into an anti-hero, torn between her desire for a new life and the darkness within her. As the story unfolds, the lines between right and wrong blur, and Rue's secrets come to light. With each page, the suspense intensifies as Rue navigates the intricate web of her mind and grapples with her demons while struggling to come to terms with Wyatt's potential betrayal. And then it just talks about how this is a gripping psychological thriller. So, Rotten Fruit by D.W. Cole is my selection. Now, I can tell you there is no blue, there is no green, there's no green. Purple, no, it's pinks and reds. Although, I'm going to say yes on this one. Although, let's see if this one works better because there is a stem. Okay, I'm going to go with Desert Sand, number 171524 on this one because these cherries there are cherries on here. And you can't see it because it's brown and it's on black, so it's harder to see. But the cherries have stems, and in the shading of the stems, it looks like this color is there. So I'm going to go with Desert Sand for Rotten Fruit. Okay, for this next one, we're going to be joined by Molly. Maybe Polly, because Polly's sitting at my feet. So the next prompt that Stephanie got was a book with royalty. Okay, here comes Polly. Come on, girl. Come on. All right, got them both. So book with royalty. So for this one, where are you going? I'm going to go with The Duke and I wanted to get to this one, just not going to get to it in August. So I'm going to push it into the fall. So this is book 1 in the Bridgerton series by Julia Quinn. I have not seen the Netflix adaptation. I want to read the book first. It says, can there be any greater challenge to London's ambitious mamas than an unmarried duke? Lady Whistleton's Society Papers, 1813. By all accounts, Simon Bassett is on the verge of proposing to his best friend's sister, a lovely and almost on the shelf Daphne Bridgerton. But the two of them know the truth. It's all an elaborate plan to keep Simon free from marriage-minded society mothers. And as for Daphne, surely she will attract some worthy suitors now that a duke has declared her desire. Their ruse works like a charm at first, but as Daphne waltzes across ballroom after ballroom with Simon, it's hard to remember that their courtship is a complete sham. Maybe it's his devilish smile. Certainly it's the way his eyes seem to burn every time he looks at her. It wasn't the plan, but it seems she's falling for the duke, for real. And amidst the glittering, gossipy, cutthroat world of London's elite, there is only one certainty. Love ignores every rule. So I am assuming there's royalty in this because it's dukes and duchesses and lords and ladies. In England, there's royalty. So that's what I'm going with. I don't know if royalty will make an appearance in this for sure. If you have read this series, please let me know. If I have to swap it out, I will, but I think this will work. But if you know more about this series than I do, definitely let me know. So, but as of right now, I think this purple is going to be the best bet. Yeah. So there's purple flowers all along here, and it's a couple of different shades of purple, and it looks like this is in there. So I am going to go with this 7654 purple as a match for this cover. So that was the last prompt from her, from drawing the prompts from the star, the moon, the sun, those types of things. Those are the last of those prompts. Finally landed on the last spot that looks like a starburst. Not exactly sure what she calls it. I don't know if I've ever heard her say that. I could have totally missed it. Anyway, so for this one, she does this prompt generator, and then she just has a couple of seconds to pick a book. So The prompt that she came up with, I am going to pick a book for this. Again, this is my fall TBR, so this is over 3 months. These are the books that I will prioritize for September, October, and November. So hopefully I'll get to this one within the next 3 months. So the prompt that she got with this last little official prompt thing was an adult fantasy. And I looked this up, and this is an urban fantasy, and it is adult. So I'm going to go with Burn For Me by Ilana Andrews. Not quite sure if I'm saying that correctly. Nevada Baylor runs a small-time detective agency in Houston, Texas, exposing cheaters and busting scammers. She's very good at her job, helped by a magical ability to sense when someone tells the truth or lies. But when she's forced to take a case to find an extremely violent fire mage, Nevada knows she's out of her league. To bring him to justice, she'll have to join forces with someone who wields even more dangerous power. Connor Mad Rogan is a former combat mage, a telekinetic, singularly responsible for ending a war, and a member of one of the most powerful magic families in the world. His nephew has been kidnapped by the fugitive pyromaniac, and Nevada is his best chance at finding them both. Bound by their mission, Nevada and Connor clash over their tactics and moral beliefs, even as things undeniably heat up between them. But the man they're chasing is involved in a darker conspiracy that threatens to destroy the city and destabilize the balance of power the elite magical families use to influence every nation on Earth. So this is Burn For Me. And this author's name is actually looks like a husband and a wife, husband and wife duo writing team. So interesting on that, and it sounds good. So the colors I have left are these 3, and could I go with this blue? Yes, I can go with this blue. So that's what there's no greens on this, so I have to find 2 books. But this blue, Celestial, number 18-4530. It looks more, it's kind of a like gray blue, but there's gradients, so it goes like more gray and then it fades into the more blue. This does look like that is on there, so that's what I'm going to go with for this book. Okay, so I've got to find 2 books. I did find one for this one. I'm going to go with this manga series. It's been on a couple of TBRs. A Story of 7 Lives by Shirakawa Jin. As you can see, there's greenery there. And a couple of the shading, it looks like it's there, and in a couple of spots on the cat's eye there. So I'm going to go with A Story of 7 Lives. This is a manga, and it says, Nanao used to be a house cat, but after tragedy struck, he was abandoned on the rough streets of Tokyo. Now, alongside his best friend and fellow stray, Machi, Nanao has to fight every day just to get by. Aside from foraging for food and finding a safe place to sleep, Nanao and Machi must remain vigilant about all sorts of dangers, including humans who want the stray cats gone. When a woman named Yoshino starts feeding the neighborhood cats, Nanao reluctantly bonds with her, but the woman has emotional scars and a past entwined with Nanao's. Can Nanao help her heal and perhaps heal himself in the process? All right, and the last color was this apple green, number 150543. I'm going to go with The Disappearance by Bentley Little. There is greenery in here, and it's in the shade specifically up here where it kind of starts to go into this bright light, this blinding light. So it does look like it is there. So The Disappearance by Bentley Little. It says, the perfect getaway turns into a nightmare when a girl vanishes without a trace in this horror novel. Okay. Gary, his girlfriend Joan, and their friends intend to make the most of their 3-day vacation from UCLA by partying at Burning Man. But soon after they arrive at the festival in the remote desert, Joan disappears. Calls to her parents' home yield only dead air. Her school records are gone, and there's no evidence that Joan or even her roommate ever existed. Most disturbing of all is what they do find. Among Joan's belongings is a prayer written on a small scroll. It's a safeguard and a warning from something called the Outsiders. For Gary and his friends, it's the only clue. Now, if they want to find out exactly what happened to Joan, they must follow it, but they may not like what they uncover. So those are the selections for Stephanie's Starhop game. Let's continue on with this fall TBR. Okay, and what might very well be the last prompt. Yes. So no doubles, so I'm moving 7 spots. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Popcorn. Another YouTube TBR game. This is going to be a long, but again, this is just seasonal. So this is not monthly. I've got 3 months to try to get all of these books on separate TBRs. So we're going to go with this one. Allison. Allison on a book break. She has 2 games. This one's specifically for The Sims. Okay, so for the last and final prompt, as you see, I drew another one, and I have it written down, and I can't remember the prompt. Popcorn. That's the word I was thinking of. It's like, it just hopped my head. So this is another BookTubers TBR game. So I drew out Allison, which is Allison on a book break. Now she has 2. She does one where she does like a wheel and then picks the number, and the number corresponds to a prompt type of a thing. It's a really cool board. She does it seasonally and for holidays and stuff. It's really cool. She also has one that's based off of The Sims, and that's the one that I drew, is to base it off of The Sims. So I'm going to put her channel back in my TBR jar to be drawn at a future date. Okay, so I looked at her channel, and she's had a busy life recently, so I hope it's going well. And the last Sims specific TBR game was in June, so that's what I've got the prompts for this one. So from the June game, the first prompt that she got was mystery. And I'm going to go with a cozy mystery that was on my August TBR but didn't get to due to the slump. Murder at the Beacon Bake Shop by Darcy Hannah. This is the first book in a Beacon Bake Shop mystery series. More interested in kneading dough than adding it up, Lindsay's breakup inspired her to set up the shop she always wanted in a place that always made her happy. She'd spent many childhood summers near this beach community, and converting the old run-down lighthouse into a bakery cafe and home offers a perfect fresh start for Lindsay and her devoted Newfoundland dog, Wellington. But not everyone in town has a sweet tooth, and the Preservation Society won't have the lighthouse history sugar-coated by lattes and cakes, and a protest group crashes Lindsay's Memorial Day opening. Then her ex-fiancé, Jeffrey Plank, and his girlfriend Mia Long arrive to trash the place. In the ensuing chaos, Mia chokes on a donut and dies. An autopsy reveals cyanide in Mia's bloodstream, and Lindsay is the police's prime suspect. To clear her name, she's going to need to combine ingredients found in the town's checkered past to uncover the identity of a desperate killer. Now, I did verify that the title of this book is a verb. So the prompt was verb in the title, and I did verify that, and I am bad with grammar as far as what's a verb and stuff, but the title of this book, so this is the Discreet series by W. Winters, which is Willow Winters. So there's no synopsis on the back, it's actually on the inside, and it's just the couple's name on the front. The title is actually on the inside as well. So the title is Broken, the couple is Jade and Olivia, and so broken is a verb, and I did double check that. So it says, I never thought of life like the petals of a rose before, but they're also alike, delicate and easily crushed, broken, just like he made me. He could pluck away, and there was nothing I could do except be destroyed and accept my fate. That's what he does. He ruins what he touches. Ruthless and cold-hearted. They gave me to him, to break, to do as he'd like, all because I was in the wrong place at the wrong time. He grew addicted to the feel of plucking away at me, at leaving me bare and taking control of every piece of me. And if I'm honest with myself, I grew to love it too. So I'm going to go with that one. Okay. And the next prompt that Allison got was retelling of a children's fairy tale. So I am going with a Beauty and the Beast retelling, which actually happens to be in Allison's June game. She went with the Beauty and the Beast retelling, is the book that she picked. And that's what I'm doing. And this is like a mafia, dark mafia retelling of Beauty and the Beast. And I did double check this one as well. Stolen Air by Sophie Lark. It says, love is the one thing you can't steal. Nessa Griffin leads a lonely life. To compensate and not compensate, it's compassionate is the word. Too compassionate and gentle for the underworld business she grew up in, she fills no role in her family's mafia empire, struggling to prove herself both at home and in her highly competitive ballet corps. Michaelides Wilk is the most vicious gangster in Chicago, and he's hell-bent on revenge. His adoptive father saved him from the streets of Warsaw, only to die at the hands of the Griffins. As part of his vengeance, Michaelides abducts Nessa, holding her captive in his moldering Gothic mansion. She might not deserve to pay for her family's crimes, but in this world, the wolves eat the lambs, no matter how gentle and innocent they may be. But even as Michaelides plots the destruction of everything the Griffins hold dear, he finds himself fixated on his captive, wanting this ballerina to dance only for him. Meanwhile, Nessa finds herself lost in the growing tension between her and her kidnapper, their twisted relationship building in new, terrifying ways. He is the beast to her beauty, but can Nessa find the man inside before he gives into his hunger? So, and I did double check. And this is book number 2 in Brutal Birthright is the name of this series. So this is book number 2 in that series. And it's a Beauty and the Beast retelling. So a retelling of a childhood fairy tale. Prompt number 4 that Allison got was her TBR pumpkin. I don't have a TBR pumpkin. I thought about doing like another random generator from a TBR jar or something, but because I'm like, what else am I going to do? But her TBR pumpkin that she got is curated specifically for the spooky season. So I thought, I'll just go with a book that fits perfectly for the spooky season. So I'm thinking horror, mystery, thriller. And she even said it's mostly horror and thriller in that TBR jar. So that's what I'm going with, is a horror. And this is a library book I've got to read and get back. And this is Night Warriors. The Night Warriors #1 by Graham Masterson. Let's see. Henry was the first something sleeping on the beach with his friends Gil and Susan. The library sticker's covering it up. When they learn what has happened to her, they are thrown into a mystery that nightmares are made of. The young girl has been forced to host a hideous malevolence that insinuates itself into the bodies and minds of thousands of unsuspecting people. The only hope saving them is to become Night Warriors, an ancient order with the power to infiltrate the dream world and destroy the original source. Together they enter the unknown, but one thing is certain. If they fail to find it, the beast will certainly find them. So, Night Warriors. That's what I'm going with. And the next prompt was a middle grade, and I'm really excited for this one. This is one I've been wanting to get to, and this is book number 4 in A Pinch of Magic Adventure by Michelle Harrison. And this is A Storm of Sisters. I have thoroughly enjoyed the first 3 books, so it'll be good to get back into this world. It says, a frozen town called Wilderness, promising adventure. The ghostly legend of a fortune teller, a highwayman, and a stolen crystal ball. 3 sisters with a mystery to solve as an icy storm rages around them. Oh, I'm excited to get back into this. I have really enjoyed this series. Okay. And the last prompt that Allison got was buzzword. So this is something to go with the Buzzwordathon, where it's a specific theme each month. And I'm behind on this. I still need to get May. I need a book with every in the title. And then I think I've got June's. August is a book with the word like. No, I don't have June's. I don't know where I am on this. I just know I'm several months behind. I need every in the title. I need something with a measurement, something that deals with the senses, and something with the word like in the title. That's how many I'm behind until September hits, and then I'm another month behind. So I'm going with like. So this one was August. And this is a book I wanted to read in August, but just didn't get to. And my selection for the buzzword for like is Like Cats and Dogs. So this is another library book I want to read. This is written by Kate McMurray. Things get rough in this Brooklyn neighborhood when new veterinarian Caleb Fitch moves in next door to the Whitman Street Cat Cafe and gets on the wrong side of the cafe owner Lauren Harlow. Lauren can't ignore the fact that she is instantly attracted to Caleb, but she gets riled up when he argues with her about how best to treat the cats in her care. Lauren has a few things to teach the new vet on the block. Determined to smooth things over, Caleb comes to the rescue when a new litter of abandoned kittens is left on Lauren's doorstep, and they confront the fiery attraction that's been building between them from the start. But saving the baby kittens is only the first challenge Lauren and Caleb have to face. And when a real estate developer comes sniffing around their block, they'll have to work together or risk losing everything. This sounds really cute. Okay, and the last thing I need to do, so 6 books, right? Yes, 6 books means 6 colored cards. And let's go ahead and draw these and shuffle these up a little bit. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All right, so the first book I'm going to be looking at is Murder at the Beacon Bake Shop. Okay. So these are the colors. I have 2 greens, 2 purples, a red, and a gray. Okay, I think I already know what one I want that gray one to go to without even thinking about that one. And I think this light purple's on one of them. So let's go with, I'm looking at, trying to make the best decision. Okay. Okay, let's see if this red, I think. Okay, so there's this umbrella here, and it's over on this side of the umbrella where it's getting the sun, and so it's not completely covered in the shadows, but I'm saying it is on the umbrella, so we're going to go with this 1797 red for Murder at the Beacon Bake Shop. Okay. This one, and I have to go with the edition that I have for the colors. So this one again is broken. It's a completely different shade, and then the only other purple is this light purple, so I will have to find another color or another book to go with that one. Okay, next up I have this Stolen Air, and I thought this gray, and yeah, I am going to go with it because this is like a marbled gray and white cover, and this gray looks like it is in there. So I am going to go with this one for Stolen Air. And this is Warm Gray 2. Okay, next I have Night Warriors. There was no purple in that, so I'm stuck with these 2 greens. This light green is not there. Bottle green. Yes. So it's in back here in the shading of the tree leaves, so back there, and so bottle green, I say, is on this cover, at least according to the naked eye, at least my naked eye. Okay, next up is A Storm of Sisters by Michelle Harrison. There is no green, and so I have these 2 purples left. Definitely not this light purple. There's no purple on this, so that's another one. Another book I'm gonna have to add. Okay. And then the final book is Like Cats and Dogs. So, see, this is more of a blue purple. This looks more like a solid, and that's more of a light purple. But will this one work? Ooh. Yeah, no, it's not going to work. Her sweater I thought would work for this purple, but this is like several shades lighter than it is darker. And this one's darker. So 3 more books. Let me hunt down 3 books that'll match these, have these colors, and I'll be right back. All right, I am back. I have found books to go with these colors. Okay, so I have Orchid Bloom, number 143612. I'm going to go with Bait and Witch by Angela M. Sanders. This is a cozy mystery, and it's in kind of where this light is hitting these books, how it just makes the books look a different shade of purple there. It looks spot on to me. Librarian Josi Way moved to small town Oregon to lay low. Instead, thanks to newfound magic abilities and a killer on the loose, she's leapt out of the frying pan and into a cauldron of trouble. Josie Way loved working among the Library of Congress leather-scented stacks until she uncovered corruption and made herself a target. As Wilfred, Oregon's new librarian, Josie can stay undercover until the case goes to court. But life in this little town isn't as subdued as she expected. The library, housed in a Victorian mansion, is slated to be bulldozed. Still digesting the news after that her safe haven is about to become scrap lumber, Josie discovers a body in the woods. Almost as shocking, Josie learns that she's descended from a long line of witches, and her powers have suddenly sprung to life. With help from a spoiled alley cat who just may be her familiar, Josie's thumbing through a catalog of suspects, hoping she can conjure a way to save her library and her life. For the bright violet color, 193438, I'm going to go with A Sweet Mess. It's in her dress, especially in the darker shading where they're indicating that there's pleats in the dress. This is written by J.C. Lee, another library book I have got to read. Library sticker is covering up some of it, so it says, I'm just going to start, something with happens, and then there's a one-night stand with gorgeous Korean hunk Landon Kim, makes her Aubrey, makes her want things she didn't think she had time for. Too bad it turns out she's a celebrity food critic whose scathing review of Comfort Zone goes viral and nearly destroys Aubrey's business and her fond memory of their night together. Landon tries to clean up the mess he made by offering Aubrey a spot on the new celebrity cooking show he's producing. She agrees to use this as a way to save her bakery and her reputation, no thanks to him, but vows to guard her heart. Now Aubrey and Landon find themselves sharing a villa in California's wine country, which is a guaranteed recipe for disaster. For the next 3 weeks, baker and critic will tempt each other as they struggle to resist admitting they have all the necessary ingredients for love. And the last color in the last book that's being added, this is a kind of a limey green, number 583. I am going with This Poison Heart by Kaylin Bayron, and it's in the shading back kind of here behind her, like right there, and then in various spots in the background color. So I'm going to go with that. And it says, Dark Magic, a Dangerous Curse, an Ancient Mystery. Briseis has a gift. With a single touch, she can grow plants from tiny seeds to rich blooms. When Briseis' aunt dies and leaves her a dilapidated estate in rural New York, Bree and her parents hope that maybe, surrounded by plants and flowers, Bree will finally learn to control her gift. But their new home is sinister in ways they never expected. It comes with a mysterious set of instructions and a walled garden filled with the world's most lethal botanicals. There is more to Bree's sudden inheritance than she could have imagined, and she is determined to uncover it. So that is it. So these two precariously stacked stack of books are the books that I want to prioritize for fall. So that's 3 months worth. There's no way I'm going to be getting to all of these. I highly doubt that, but these are the ones I will try to choose from first. When I play my September, October, and November TBR games, I will try to pull from these 2 stacks first, and then obviously add in books as I get prompts that maybe any of these books do not fulfill. I think this will be fun. I am excited to prioritize these and go from there. So let me know, have you read any of these books or books from any of these authors? Out of these 2 stacks and the books, for the books that you will have seen in this video, is there any book in particular that you would like to see me prioritize? Definitely let me know. Talk to me in the comment section below, and until next time, stay true to yourself and enjoy a good book, and I will talk to you later.